Hello and welcome to Talking Golf with Gary. This week, the dynamic Gary will introduce you to all kinds of topics pertinent to this past week of golf. He'll give you some tidbits of information as what's coming up and take you on a tour around the world for all of the golfing highlights. Sit back and enjoy Talking Golf with Gary.
And hello and welcome. Where am I? Here I am. To another edition of Talking Golf with Gary. It's the PGA Championship wrap-up show. And boy, it looked like it was going to be a dull one there for a while. But we got some iffy weather, a little difficult conditions at good old Bethpage Black as it roared up and almost took Brooks Koepka out of it as it dwindled his 7-shot lead down on Sunday afternoon, but he never lost the lead, and he claimed the Wanamaker Trophy for the second year in a row. His buddy Justin Johnson was charging two groups ahead, especially when Koepka made 4 birdies in a row on a back nine and led by 1 after Johnson birdied the 15th. But Johnson faltered, and Koepka hung on there, and he made par on 3 of the last 4 holes. He became the first back-to-back PGA champion since Tiger Woods did it in 2006 and 2007. He earned $1.98 million and gets the number 1 ranking in the world with his 4th major championship in the last 23 months. He shot 74 in the final round to finish 8 under 272. That's a 2-stroke victory. And it's pretty amazing when you think of it with this Koepka guy because, he's won 6 PGA tournaments and 4 of them are majors. I mean, that's unheard of. It's really a wacky record that he's got going there, that he is so good in these majors, and yet he doesn't win tournaments. He was competing, a couple of weeks ago in a tournament, but didn't get it done, but then comes into the majors and dominates, at least for the first 3 days. And he scratched it out yesterday, and it looked for a while there that he might lose the lead. And but he kept it together, and Dustin Johnson, I don't know if you want to say he choked, but boy, he had it right in front of him, had a chance, even if when he got to 8, if he could have, just parred a couple of those holes. And but the bogey 16 and 17, that really hurt him, and that was it. It was over then. Koepka righted the ship and stayed on target with that, and so he deserves the winner. Becomes the 5th wire-to-wire of the PGA tournament, and the first since Hal Sutton did it in 1983 at Riviera Country Club. And let's see, Koepka joins an elite list of golfers who have won 4 majors in less than 2 years. That's another incredible thing. Those were Hogan, Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, and Tiger Woods. Dustin Johnson's got some uniqueness in his second-place finish. He has finished second in each of the 4 majors now, including 2 in a row. He narrowed the deficit to 1 shot with a birdie on 15 Sunday, as I said. But then just seemed to lose it and really had good opportunities, but pulled one into the rough. Both of them he shot into the rough off the tee, and that was it. Only 6 golfers finished under par in the championship. The low round on Sunday was 68 by Bo Hostler and Gary Woodland as winds gusted near 30 miles an hour. And those winds can get pretty bad over there by Bethpage Black. Louis Beauregard made a hole-in-one on the 17th hole using a 6-iron from 206 yards. Rob Labritz finished as the low PGA professional, 10 over par, and he tied for 60th overall. So congratulations to Rob. a teaching pro, and he finished as the low teaching professional. The 2020 PGA Championship is going to be May 14th to 17th, and it will be in San Francisco at TPC Harding Park, which I believe is another public course, but I'm not sure. Bethpage Black will be closed until the 25th, and then will reopen to the public. And I'm not sure if the whole park if the other 4 courses are closed or open now, because they were closed during the week, but they may be open for play now. It's just the black course is closed. I'm not sure about that. Check before if you're in the New York area and want to play any of those courses, make sure you check it out ahead of time. And as I said last week, everything stops for the week. No other tours were in progress, so there's nothing else to report on. Little bit of controversy. Harold Varner III, who was playing in the final group, came out afterwards and got on the New York fans because they were rooting for Dustin Johnson and not rooting for Koepka. And the choke word came out, and he wasn't too happy about that. But let me tell you one thing. They weren't necessarily... The fans in New York can be greedy sometimes. They weren't necessarily rooting against Koepka to fail. What they were rooting against is they wanted to see more golf. It's that simple. If you watch the U.S. Open, the Tennis Open from Flushing Meadows in New York when they have it, you'll see them cheering for the underdog sometimes because they want a match to go longer. I guess it's getting your money's worth in there. I don't know, but it's not necessarily they were rooting against Koepka in that they were rooting to get their money's worth, I guess. That's the best way I can put it. So Harold Varner, chill a little bit. Okay, you got upset. Koepka handled it nicely. He said he's been to events here before. He knows how the fans are, and that he wasn't, it's New York sports fans, and it's not the greatest thing for New York sports fans to get a reputation like that. They were chanting DJ, DJ. But I think the mentality behind it was not for Koepka to fail, but he would fail enough to extend the afternoon and maybe go into extra holes. But it was not to be, as Dustin Johnson couldn't get the job done and hold on, and Koepka righted the ship and was able to hold on and bring it home for back-to-back victories. Great event. Everything went smoothly, it seemed, the whole weekend. I had actually intended to try to get out there at one point for a practice round, but the weather was iffy, and I just didn't get around to it, and other things came up. It got busy. I played some golf myself last week, and so it just didn't happen. But we'll, Ryder Cup in 4 years, God willing. Maybe we'll get to that, but we'll see. All right, let's take a quick break. This is going to be a quick show this week. So, because there's not much out there, and I do not have a guest, but we're working on some nice stuff for the future. So please stick with us when we have these down weeks, but there'll be some good things coming up very, very soon. All right, let's take a quickie break and be back after this.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for interesting baseball talk, opinions, and history.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for barbecue recipes, tips, and interviews from the world of barbecue. If you like baseball and if you like barbecue, Then tune in to Baseball and BBQ. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and BaseballTalkRadio.com.
Sponsor an ad on the podcast. Support our show and let people know about your business. Email us today.
516-362-0443. That is the Talking Golf Hotline. If you've got a question, a comment, or want to leave a voicemail, say hi. That's the number to call, 516-362-0443. Or if you'd like to leave an email, you can email the show at talkinggolf@gmail.com.
Now it's time to do the calendar. Now it's time to do the calendar. Oh, hooray, let's sing the calendar. Now it's time to do the calendar.
All right. Now, next week, we've got some action on all the tours. Everybody's in action. So let's take a look at that. The PGA Tour. It has the Charles Schwab Challenge, which used to be the old Colonial. They're playing at the Colonial Country Club in Texas. And Justin Rose is defending his championship at that event. On the Champions Tour, another major as they play the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship. And Paul Broadhurst is defending at that event. The European Tour is their event. They have some wacky names. The Made in Denmark, presented by Frisia event, tournament, whatever. That's the tournament. And Matt Wallace, who we saw a lot of this week on the telecasts, he is the 2018 winner of that event. And finally, the LPGA is holding a big event, and they've been there for a number of years in Williamsburg, Virginia. The Pure Silk Championship, presented by Visit Williamsburg. And Pure Silk, this is the first year that they are sponsoring this event. They signed up for 3 years. So they will sponsor it this year, 2020 and 2021. And so it's a new sponsorship, but at a familiar site in Williamsburg, Virginia for the LPGA tournament there. And Aria Jutengaard is the defending champion. And she is a good player. She's got a sister on tour, too, and they're both good players. So check that out if you can on the Golf Channel. I would imagine at some time, and you are going to enjoy it. And I like watching the women play because of there's the rhythm and the timing of their swings, and it's. I like watching the guys play too, but I can't swing it that fast as Dustin Johnson or Brooks Koepka or Tiger Woods or that. So I enjoy even the senior tour. I mean, they've got better swings than I do, but I do enjoy watching them. But the ladies, the swings are a little slower, and it's more rhythmic. And more of a finesse game than a bashing game, and I like that, and that's why I enjoy watching them. But they're getting pretty fast too. Their swing speeds are getting up there too, and they're starting to bash the ball a little bit themselves. But it's always fun to watch, and like I said, I like watching the champions too because it's a little older crowd. And the swing speeds are a little bit lower. Some of those guys are good. So, they're all good. I mean, some of them are pretty fast, though. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a quick one and no guest, but we're working on, as I said, we're working on some things in the future. Hopefully, we'll have a guest next week. working on one. We'll see what we can come up with. And I want to thank you all for listening. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, Spreaker, Google Play, Spotify, wherever you listen or watch the podcast. Hit the subscribe button. That helps me grow the show and expand to new listeners. And until next time, remember, as you walk down the fairway of life, you must smell the roses, for you only get to play one round. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you next time on the next edition of Talking Golf with Gary.